Land back.
Land back.
Hey, welcome to the Vanguard. It is your best city in the Midwest chapter, Chicago.
Chicago.
Hey, welcome. Make sure you come in here and start sharing, liking, subscribing to our YouTube channel, Black Camera TV. All right. This is the Vanguard, where the Vanguard, La La Bangaria L. I don't. Is it?
I feel like it'd be it.
Oh, well, probably of course, right? El Bangaria is here to tell you what is going on with the world, what is going on with our organization. Giving that anti-colonial spin to the news and what's going on with the people today. So yes, we're excited to be here. Let's introduce ourselves. We'll go down like this. All right, go ahead.
Land back. My name is Ren. I represent. I represent the nations of Panama and Colombia. I am petty boo. I am committing class suicide. And I use they them pronouns. Land back, y'all.
And back. I'm Chief Oju. I represent the nations of Africa and Boriken. Working class with some petty boo fries. And yes, I use he, him pronouns, and I am the chief of agitation propaganda here at Black Camera. So yes, anything music, writing, news related, that's agipop. Join BHO agipop at popprotonmail.com. All right.
Land back. My name is Watakame. I represent the Coca Nahuarica people of colonized Mexico. I am of the poor working class. And I use they, them pronouns, and I am the chief of staff of the Ministry of People's Affairs.
Yes. And we have, of course, another person who is in the room with us. We have our Chief G of IT who is producing. So make sure you give him, some props up in the comments. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let Chief G know that you're glad that they got their biscuit rations. And that they're still with us to produce the show.
We promise.
We promised last time, but we gave them a little bit of a garlic bread ration today. All right. So So remember, like, share, and subscribe, and hashtag share when you shared it. So when you go in the comments, make sure you are hashtagging share so that we know that you put it somewhere. Retweet it, put it up in your Facebook profiles, your DMs, your Instagram DMs, all right? Just so you're sharing about what we got to talk about. We have some big news topics to talk about today, and just like things to share. So we've had a long day here in the Chicago chapter. We were up real early. We were up really, really, really early, making sure that our houseless people in Tui Park over here didn't have their things taken. So. You want to explain what was going on, what you saw, and how we mobilized, what we did?
Yeah, land back. So we've been going to Tui Park for a minute now. That's where we serve our houseless community. And one of the last week or even a few days ago, we were there, and we saw that they got a notice that there would be some off-street cleaning. Which, if you don't know, that's basically just a sweep where they come in and take everything that belongs to houseless people. And this is right after the city has been promising housing, right? Mm-hmm. We went to even a meeting to see what it was about. But the city's been promising rapid housing for houseless people, and even got applications going and things like that. But right after the holiday or the colonial holiday. Mm-hmm. And before housing is secured for people, they're gonna come in they wanted to come in and take all of their things, including their tents, everything that keeps people warm. And here in Chicago, it's cold.
Oh my God!
Don't get me wrong. I come from land of the mountains where it's cold normally, and I'm shivering. We've been seeing a constant or a feel of low 20s, right? It's cold, and the Windy City. The wind is something else. The wind will cut through everything. It's freezing, y'all. It's freezing. And that's from people. We're outside most of the day, right, doing outreach anyway. But we don't live out there.
Exactly.
So, because of that, like it is our job as the Vanguard, as revolutionaries, to serve the people, right? Most oppressed by the colonial system. So we were out there 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Because the notice.
Make Dr. Kami big, G, so people can see what they're saying.
You can see the words come down. Anyway, yeah, we were there 6 a.m. because the notice was from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Just leaving the people wondering when the city was going to come and take everything, right? Not on our watch. Not on our watch. We were there 6 a.m., some hot coffee, some donuts, and some political education for the masses. And honestly, the city is some little scary.
They really were, yeah.
Yeah, we were there, and they waited until they thought we were leaving because we went to the car to finally get out of their trucks and start doing stuff. But we went, we were right there anyway. And yeah, like they talk a good game of, oh, we only take what's abandoned. Oh, we only take what is empty. Oh, we only take what's not looked out for. Well, now that we're there, everything and everyone is looked out for. And we saw a lot of other people, a lot of charity bees out there for 10 seconds,
Yeah.
But we were there hours and hours and hours, just talking to our people, making sure that, helping them even store away things, so that if the city did come, they would still have their things, right? We packed up tents for people, belongings for people, to make sure that they had what is theirs. But yeah, that's
exactly what happened. And yeah, there is a bunch of scary because the one thing about like a liberal city like Chicago is that they love bureaucracy, right? So they'll have like each step of everything there. Like you have like the support people there, you have like from the Department of Family Services, and then you have like the streets and sanitation. Every little department has a little thing there, but none of it's actually to serve the people. It's just a checklist, to make it seem like it's a legal action to clear people's homes and belongings, and that's something that we stood up today against with the people, and all they did was clear the one, and they came in and came out, and they, again, like Batakami said, they only came out when they thought we were leaving. We was just going to the car real quick, and then they're like, okay, time to get out, because they saw us all morning when they came to take pictures of all the tents that they didn't take, right? In the end. So yeah, so we want you to support the work of this chapter. Doing that, we are giving our people, resources to stay warm this winter. Like what I said there, the wind ain't no joke here. People walk backwards because of how cold the wind be. And so donate, Cash App, Black Camera Shy, and what, CHI, all right? And then also on Venmo, we're on Venmo as CHI Hammers, so Shy Hammers, all right? So yeah, make sure you drop some donations up in the comments. And if you see any comments, make sure you share them with us on the screen so we can see and can let people know, give them some props for.
People want to know what we're eating.
Oh, people want to know what we're eating? Oh, all right. Well, what are we eating, man?
I'm not the one who cooked it, though. I mean, yeah, this one cooked it.
Yes.
So you can go.
It might look like pasta, but this is some spaghetti. I didn't make the noodles. This is some Walmart noodles with some homemade pasta sauce, as well as a mixed green salad with some candied walnuts and a honey Dijon lemon vinaigrette. Homemade. And then some homemade garlic bread to go with it. Can't have your pasta without your garlic bread. Can't have your carbs without your carbs, especially after a long cold day. This will be helpful. But yeah, that's what we eat in Charlotte.
Yeah, the garlic bread is so good. Like you did really well with it.
It's one thing about Oju. You could just say spaghetti, salad, and bread.
No.
But Oju will find a way to make most of it homemade, or gourmet.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, yeah, why not, right? And it takes like 2 seconds is another thing.
Fancy.
I like to cook. Don't get me wrong. It takes me a minute though. It takes me a while, and Oju just be a cook tornado.
Yeah.
And it's so good every single time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eating now.
And so well like timed out too. Like the entire time they're like, okay, that's good. Oh, let me get started on this because that's gonna be ready in like 15 minutes. And like it's just it's really beautiful to see. Like that's something I gotta learn from you is like very much like the timing aspect of things. But yes, the garlic bread is delicious, Chim. It was like literally I watched him like put the garlic and I don't know.
Yeah, I roasted the garlic bulbs in the oven and used that with a butter, herb thing as a spread,
Yeah, on top and then
No
also
mas.
in between.
No mas.
Yeah, only that,
It's como si nada.
But yes, keep sharing, y'all. Keep sharing and donate if you can to, again, Black Hammer Shy on Cash App and Shy Hammers on Venmo. But we're gonna get started. We also have our special nice
Iced tea.
iced tea, our special iced tea,
Locally brewed.
a locally brewed iced tea. And so completes our thing. But yeah, let's get into the topics of today. A lot been going on, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
We are deeply disappointed by the decision of several countries to prohibit travel from a number of Southern African countries, including our own, following the identification of the Omicron variant. This is a clear and completely unjustified departure from the commitment that many of these countries made at the meeting of the G20 countries in Rome last month. The only thing the prohibition on travel will do is to further damage the economies of the affected countries and undermine their ability to respond to and also to recover from the pandemic. The emergence of the Omicron variant should be a wake-up call to the world that vaccine inequality cannot be allowed to continue. Until everyone is vaccinated, everyone will continue to be at risk. A decision was taken that the country should remain on coronavirus alert level 1 for now, and that the national state of disaster should remain in place. In taking the decision not to impose further restrictions at this stage, we considered the fact that when we encountered previous waves of infection, vaccines were not widely available and far fewer people were vaccinated. This is no longer the case.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, as y'all may know, there is a new Greek letter in town, Omicron, which everyone says it reminds them of Transformers, because why wouldn't it? So they first discovered this variant, they said, in Azania, which is or colonized name South Africa, right? And apparently it's been spreading super rapidly, super quickly, and they have made it a point within the past week, just pushing that like watch out, danger, like study, research, help make better vacuums, all this stuff, right? And all of a sudden now, these same like neo-colonial sellout, leaders that are like saying we want more of these vacuums and we want more money to take care of the people, when none of that money that they're getting in aid is actually aiding the people, the poor working class of Azania. As they're all asking for that, they're realizing that this variant possibly ain't that big of a deal, right? And so like, what is it? Again, with all this stuff, we never know. They never know, and they love saying something real quickly and ready to have us spend money or put something in our bodies really fast. But then at the same time, they don't even know what's going on with it. It's just, again, so inconsistent. And the only voices we're hearing are those of those colonial governments that began getting all these cases, and these neo-colonial puppet, sellout leaders. And so, this variant, I can leave it to the Ministry of People's Affairs to talk about what they seeing with this. We'll start. What's the name?
Well, honestly, by how much we talk about it, you are basically part of MPA. Limbeck, I really want to echo what you said. Like, they don't even know what lie to tell anymore. they talk about this lack of vacuums, right, accessible to other countries.
You're like, how do I talk about this and not get targeted by big pharma?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Anyway,
At least our YouTube channel.
let me watch what I say though. Like these vacuums were designed for a specific dust particle, right? A very specific one, and even then, it's proven to be ineffective for that one specific dust particle, right? And it's proven every time there's a new version of this that these vacuums are less and less effective. It's proven over time materially, right? It's not even guesses anymore. But when a new one comes out, some like Transformers type shit, or stuff, they think that this is gonna do anything, right? And like what they're doing is using this like scare tactic, right? This fear mongering, to continue pushing for funding for these vacuum companies and vacuum research, right? When, like you said, the people who discovered this or where it started in like South Africa are saying it's not that big of a deal, right? The people where like it started in-house, whatever. And there's still more research to be done on that because they're basing their research on a handful of people too. So there's just a lot up in the air right now. But the Western power or whatever took it and ran. They took it and ran. They chose a crazy ass name. And that fear mongering to keep pushing for more vacuums and more can I say
the B word?
Yeah.
What's the B word?
The mini vacuums.
Oh yeah, you can say that.
Okay, they're pushing for boosters. Gotta make sure.
I know it's got like a whole code.
I know. Check it on the agitprop. But yeah, they're pushing for this already. When again, how many is it gonna take to even be effective for the first one, for the OG particle? And it's just, but there's been no research in how these vacuums affect even the other.
The other.
Se me fueron las palabras. The
other versions.
Other versions.
Yeah.
Jeez. The other versions of this, and now it makes no sense. Like they really threw the scientific method out the window.
Yeah.
It's just for power, for money, and it's profit over lives as always, and it's just proven over and over again. But the whole travel ban, like, okay, whatever. Whatever.
Yeah, that's just them like just trying to control the way money flows around the world yet again, right? Yeah, what you think about this?
Yeah.
Omicron.
This I do. Yeah, I agree with Otakame. Like, this is very much like, just like a fear mongering type of thing. Just trying to get people to like, freak out and just get vacuumed real quick. Like they don't. Yeah, and they're not. Like what I've been like noticing more and more, especially when it comes to this illness, is that people like whenever something new comes up, whether it's the vacuums or a new variation or whatever, they're always they always are like coming out real quick about it, right? Like they always are like putting out a lot of information real quick about it. And it's a good thing to be like cautionary and things like that, but you can also let people know like, hey, this is what we know for sure, here are the facts, right? And then lay out like, this is what we're gonna do to find out more facts for you. Okay, so but the thing is, the reason why they're doing this is to push the vacuums, when we know in Black Hammer, right, that if you check out our website, you can see these protocols that lay out how to stay safe, right? And how these, like the KN95 masks, no matter how different the variations are, will protect you, because the variations are very specific to the particle, right? But they aren't. It's not changing the size of the particle. Yeah. So, and what the mask protects you from is a certain size up to a certain size, right? A certain of like what you are breathing in. So, once again, y'all, quick reminder, wear your KN95 mask at all times if you're out and about. And, make sure that you're switching it out regularly, depending on how often you use it. But yeah, make sure to go to our website because it lays all of that information out. And we have multiple articles that go into that and lay that information out as well. But yeah, and that's literally all that the World whatever health organization needs to do, right? Is literally just say, hey, these are the masks that work. If you can't afford them, come to this clinic and get one for free. Like that is it, right? Like that's in there's plenty of masks. They also just don't want to put money into China's pockets. That's also part of it.
It's just they can't do that. Then they should just step out of the way.
Yep.
And let the people take over, right? And handle it because we got it, right? Clearly they don't got it. We got it, and we're gonna keep informing the people the correct way of maintaining your health with this virus. And I remember you talk about fear mongering. SG Tiger was talking about fear mongering. Like you told me, Ren, too, how they skipped 2 letters.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're just going in order the Greek alphabet. They're trying to pick letters that people are familiar with or hear that sound intimidating. So Omicron, we've heard that one before, but they skipped new and was it Xi or something? They just skipping letters to find the scariest ones. It's wild, y'all. And thank you. Come in with the facts with the tough cut. If you ain't noticed, Minister Ren's new tough cut, y'all. It is good. Yes, got it in the La Villita here, right? In Chicago, little village, big, massive Mexican indigenous neighborhood body over here. So yes,
Thank you, DP.
But land back. Yeah, make sure that you are going to blackhammer.org/COVID-19 basics. What that's right? COVID-19 basics, so you can see how to make sure that you stay protected against this variant and any other. I know the next one is going to be Sigma. Watch, y'all. Next one's Sigma, and then wait until it's big, and they're like Omega, end of the world, big one. No, that's what they're gonna do.
Exactly. And when we write, donate to our Venmo.
Yes. Yeah, when we write, donate to our Venmo, Cash App, Venmo, Shy Hammers, Cash App, Black Hammer Shy. Yeah, bet on it. Bet on it.
Right now.
Yeah, right now. Yes. All right, lay it back. What's next for us, G?
Those flash mob robberies, a few popular stores being ambushed across the country, rushed and looted by mobs of people, and all this as the holiday shopping season is picking up. Our Kaylee Hartung tracking the latest for us. Kaylee, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, DJ. More retailers are now taking action after this series of really brazen smash and grabs. Thieves are entering stores at all hours of the day, and some are making off with up to $1 million in goods. The latest robbery on Saturday in San Francisco, 80 thieves running into a Nordstrom, stealing goods and smashing shelves. Officers stopping one car, arresting a man and a woman, and then a third suspect was caught on foot. A day earlier, also in San Francisco, more than $1 million in merchandise was stolen after thieves broke into several stores that day. Walgreens is already closing several San Francisco stores after videos of brazen shoplifters went viral, including video appearing to show a man riding his bike out of a store with a bag full of stolen items. And the Chicago area has also been hit hard. Just last week, 14 suspects ran into this Louis Vuitton store, grabbing $120,000 in purses and other items before fleeing in getaway cars. And police say in that case, the store's security guard was on a break. George.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes. If you ain't heard of a little word called reparations, reparations is what this is. All right. All that stuff belongs to colonized people. It belongs to us, right? And we abide by the law here at Black Hammer, and we just say that reparations are a just payment for centuries of genocide, centuries of colonization, centuries of taking of our resources and pillaging and looting our lands. What's $120,000 compared to forced labor of one person for 10 decades, right? And so forced reparations, just like Chief said, colonized masses just getting what theirs, and it's that time of year, you're gonna see your Uncle Junior, gonna be there like, hey, I got some things if you want to buy this Christmas for some gifts. They're like, oh man, like where you get them bags, Uncle Junior? That is it's that kind of time, all right. So that us colonized people, we know what the deal is. But like yes, again, these are reparations, and like to see, like the one in Chicago, they went to Louis Vuitton, like in the suburbs, even, right? And like it's funny how they're like 80 thieves. It's like that sounds like a whole movie. Like like hold on, like you got like 80 thieves rolling up. Oh yeah, Ocean's 8, Ocean's 12, and look and that was a whole operation. They did this in what 20 seconds?
Yeah.
It was a smash and grab, go right. But yeah, again, these are resources that come from colonized people and colonized land and belong to the people. Yeah, right. What you think about these smash and grabs?
I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful display of colonized unity. Assuming that they are colonized, right? But yeah, no, like, for 80 people to orchestrate, like, a literal, like what, as they said, a smash and grab, and like be pretty successful in it. Like out of those 80 people, I think they said like three people, 4 people got caught. That's a pretty good percentage of like people that got away. Like, and I'm really hoping that they're gonna use some of the money from the things to like get a bail fund and help out their friends a little bit, But that's like it is just a beautiful like display of colonized unity. Like that's and then, honestly, I don't, even though I know like Black Friday, whatever, is a whole thing.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but I think, I don't think this will be the last one. Like, this will continue to happen, especially right now with the way the economy is going. Like, if this is going to continue to happen throughout the holidays. If people make promises, like, to their kids, right, and to their families about, what kind of presents they're going to get. Especially because the way that this colony works is always, like, pushing, capitalism, right? Like it's always pushing like, oh, like materially, like I need to show like support my family, right? In these materialistic ways. But there's other ways to support your family. There's other ways to like, express that love. But yeah, our people, they're colonized, so but this is gonna continue to happen. And I'm like, do what you gotta do.
Yeah, no, I mean like it was happening after George Floyd was murdered, people were getting forced separations, not just immediately after, but throughout the year, right? Because it's not just the reaction to something, but also, it's a reaction to the state of this like colonial system that's falling apart in some crisis. What you're thinking?
Yeah. First of all, y'all, this salad dressing is so bomb. Let me just say that real quick. It's so good. Anyways, this is my favorite holiday. Honestly, I love. So when it comes to like Thanksgiving or whatever, this is what I look at. This is what I look forward to. Also, 120,000 in Louis Vuitton. I don't know anything about their prices, but that's like what, 5%?
Oh, so that's that much. Yeah, right.
Yeah. It just. Again, you can't steal what is yours. You can't steal what has been stolen from you. And yeah, it just, I mean, I hope all the colonized people get away.
Yeah.
What I have seen also is the colonizers coming out, like masks off during these things. Like we've seen videos of just colonizers being colonizers, like snatching things out of colonized children's hands.
Yes.
Like, it was so wild, that video that we saw. Just some woman just like snatched this toy out of an African child's hand, and that baby just stood there, and mama came through. Mama came through with it was beautiful to. I mean, it really is. Like you see where people are, right? Like colonized people are like Ren said, it's out of like trying to show love for people, or even honestly, a lot of the times what gets smashed and grabbed is just resources. Yeah, it's food, it's clothes, it's things like that, medicine even, and it just it's just a blunt show of where people are in the colony. I don't think, like you said, this has been a thing. You know, it's also such a tired story.
Yes.
Every holiday season, this happens. Like, even retail. Like I used to work retail for years, and people get training on how to handle these things.
Mhm.
And I was like listening to the trainings, and it's just like, all right, no, for sure, I'll do that. And I was like,
I guess like our training was don't chase them out the store because they ain't gonna pay for no injury you're gonna get out there.
And I was like, oh, you said turn off the cameras, okay?
Yeah.
Like, it just, I mean, people, you know, as the colony keeps bringing our people down, our people are gonna keep rising up, and that's gonna look like a bunch of different ways, and this is one of them. So salute and revolutionary love to all of those people, all the colonized people who got their reparations, you know, got a little bit of the loot that was stolen and taken from us to give back to their families. And support your Theo Juniors who are selling things. You know, support the people selling out of the vans at a Walmart, you know. That's where it's at.
Yeah. And like I love what you said about the comment about how, you know, again, they always want to put this on the news like, oh, showing us like showing our people do forced separations from like Louis Vuittons and Nordstrom's, you know, trying to show our people as like greedy and just like luxurious and getting things that are supposed to be like beyond our reach or beyond our being necessary for us. But yeah, our people are getting food, our people are getting medicine, our people are going to get the things they need because they can't get nowhere else in the system because it's falling apart. You saw even the pigs and guards are giving up. Like they said, the one in Chicago was asleep. Did you see the video with the Walgreens one? Like he just like tried to grab at him as he was going on his bike, and he didn't even move. They didn't care. He's just like, oh, okay, you know,
like recording and just like,
yeah, just kind of a cat pound. Yeah, like they just don't care anymore. Everyone's tired of this. You know, that I bet that guard, I think the guard in the Walgreens is colonized. I bet if he was able to, he would do the same thing. He's done too, right? Everyone's done because the system is crumbling. And so, yes, you have to make sure, though, that you are organized in this crumbling system because when it crumbles, you don't want to be on your own fending for yourself trying to get the things you need. You can get it with an organization and a group of people to make sure that you got it and be guaranteed that you got it, right? Or if you don't got it, that we can work on how to get it together. Right, so join Black Hammer, blackhammer.org/join. I want all them people who did some forced reparations to go to blackhammer.org/join. We be meeting our people on the streets every day, you know, and so we run into them, we'll get them to join, right? But yeah, like that's a thing, you know. Our people been doing this because it belongs to us, and might as well get together to get everything that belongs to us. Everything, not just them bags, but you know, our homes, our food, everything.
Our land.
Our land. Yes. Land back. All right. Let's see. Oh, okay. What do we got next? G? Oh no.
And a big one this morning. Certainly sadness in Wisconsin this morning, where a holiday parade turned deadly on Sunday. The parade has been a beloved family tradition for over half a century in Waukesha. But this morning, the community is in shock after an SUV plowed through the crowd, killing at least 5 people and injuring more than 40. Police this morning now are investigating a person of interest in this terrible tragedy. NBC senior national correspondent Tom Yamas is there for us. Tom, what's the latest as to what happened here?
Hey guys, good morning to you. Well, we do have some new reporting right now to share with you. NBC News has confirmed that the person of interest, the driver in this case, his name is Daryl Brooks. He's 39 years old, from Wisconsin right now. So far, he's not been charged with a crime. He's just being called a person of interest. But from these videos, you can see how terrifying what happened last night was. The driver came through a barricade, not unlike this one, got onto Main Street where the parade was. There was just so many people, families lining up the streets and marching in the street. And then he just took his car and he floored it. He started plowing into people, different groups, including some youth dance troops, another group called the Dancing Grannies. Unfortunately, the Dancing Grannies have gone on Facebook and said some of their members were among those killed in the accident yesterday, in this incident, I should say. There was also members of the Archdiocese of Wisconsin, of Milwaukee here as well. A priest was injured. 40 people were hurt, 5 people killed. There's a lot of kids still at the Children's Hospital here in Wisconsin. There were so many victims on the road that there weren't enough ambulances. Literally, parents had to pick up their kids and rush them over to the hospital. We are going to have a news conference later today where we hope to have new information and find out, you know, the why here, why this person did it. We have some reporting, early reporting that indicates this man was possibly fleeing some kind of knife fight that he had earlier in the day. We're still trying to get clarity on that. We have heard there's no ties to terrorism so far. A lot of people were worried this might be a terrorist incident, but regardless, it's just horrific. You know, Shanaz, you were mentioning, this is like part of this community. It's been here for so long, more than 50 years. People come together every year. This is how they kick off the holidays, and now they have to deal with this horrific tragedy and so many children who are hurt trying to fight for their lives right now in the hospital.
It's so sad.
Our senior national.
Not the dancing granny.
Not the dancing grannies.
Grannies and the priest.
Yes, I know exactly, right? So we're in a situation where we are in, Lily Saltine, Wisconsin. Literally 80% of all Africans in Wisconsin live in Milwaukee. We live in one city. And so we're in Lily Saltine, Wisconsin, in the burbs at a Christmas parade. And then we have grannies, priests, and children of the salty variety run over.
No, the salty variety.
Now that means that whoever did it, they coming for, right? And it's interesting because when this happened, there was like some blogger came out and said, this is the person who did it. This is their information. This is their card and all this stuff. It was just on a blog. And then people were saying, yeah, this is the first person to report on it. And everyone, who was, all the Wisconsin people started sharing it and like started spreading that it was this man that they named in this video, this person of interest, right? Darrell Brooks. And they started naming and they started spreading it. And to the point where you see the top colonial news media just repeating it, when it's just literally a person of interest, not charged with a crime, and they don't even know. They're like, is it terrorism? Is this someone fleeing another crime? Is this someone who just wanted to do it? They don't know anything, yet they're gonna drop this African man's name, right? And the first thing I thought of, like seeing that it was some grannies, some priests and children, is that they are going to do a lynching. That was my first thought. I'm like, this is exactly the setup for a lynching. Right, and that's what it was. That's what was happening. They literally just named an African man from their own whatever research and said, "Go get him, go." Right, and like we don't like they found him a lot later. Like the pigs arrested him a lot later, and this is all just based off the information of these people that just dropped it in some blog. And for me, I'm just like I don't. It's the same old. Like things happen, right? And this colony is it's getting more intense every day, but yeah, they were already about to lynch that man, and so there's just another example of these Saltines just doing what they always do. It's just murdering our people when like they feel like they've been massacred or something, and like for all we know, it was an accident. For all we know, it was an accident. You even heard the reporter change his language from accident to incident because he didn't want to make it sound as accident either. He was working for white power too. He was working for the lynch mob too. And so yeah, man, back. That's what I'd be thinking about is what they were doing, trying to do to this man. What you think?
Yeah, no, full unity with that. Like, how many times have we seen when it's another cracker? It's always but what was he going through? Oh, but what was the situation, right? What was the cause to this effect or anything like that? And like you said, his name didn't even come from the pigs. Even this incident proved their own incompetence. The pigs didn't get the name. They couldn't even get ambulance drivers to take the children to the hospital. But let's not talk about that, right? Like it wasn't a failure of the system that parents had to drive their children. It was a failure of this man that the ambulances are trash or that their system is trash, right? But whatever. Like they glance over that way fast. Because what if it had been more people, And again, like you said, what a coincidence that we're in a state where 80% of African people live in one city. This one African man was in the suburbs, right? And then they mentioned the knife fight so nonchalantly.
Yeah.
So whatever, like, you know, it's a possibility that he was fighting for his life, you know. And we see a bunch of health contradictions too that cause car accidents. There's so many scenarios that have not even been raised to them because the only explanation that they have is that this was a purposeful act, right? Not terrorism though. It's just like you said, it's very telling. It's the same old. These news stories, they have different places, different names, but it's the same thing. They find a colonized person to demonize, and they don't give any room for research or for material solutions or anything. It's crumbling, you know, and that's why it's so important for us to stick together. It's so important for us to have each other's backs, to take the power back. It just, yeah, I remember like we were keeping up right when it happened, and I just remember thinking, I'm like, I hope he gets away, because of that. Like, this man is not gonna get anything fair. Is not gonna get any fair trial. Is not gonna get any fair coverage. Is not even probably gonna get his side of the story out, or they're not even gonna try to prove that it was him. And it's a done deal. It's a done deal. They've chosen him. They've put his name out, and they've sentenced him. It's disgusting. Yeah,
Yeah, no, it is. It is, and like, you know, all the you know, liberal Democrat types who were fighting so hard to try to put Kyle Rittenhouse in jail. Like, how hard are you about to fight for Darrell Brooks to keep him out? Right? Probably not, because you're more interested in holding up some, you know, Joe Biden Democrat narrative than the lynching of an African man, which is what this is. Yeah, laying back. Yeah, what you thinking, man?
Yeah, I'm back. No, I unite, especially with how, like, yeah, like, this is like quite literally a lynching. Because like you said, like, it's not gonna be fair at all. Like, if 80% of the people are in one city and you're not living in that city, how is it gonna be fair? Right? Like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And also, who are these people? Like, who is the state of, like, Wisconsin, like, whatever, like the governor or whatever? They are colonizers. What right do they have to judge or persecute any colonized person?
Yeah, they do.
Like, they don't. So, you know, the entire thing, like the entire accusation, like, throw it in the trash, because it doesn't, like, they've done so much to even just, like, you know, like, this is one small town and like Wisconsin is, like, I don't know. I kind of pretend like it's not even there.
It's real close by.
It's close by, but I'm like, it kind of blows my mind that I live close to Wisconsin now. But no, like, you know, in like the grand scheme of things, it's a small town and like in a city that is, or in a state that doesn't even matter that much, right? And you know, but the colonized people there are only there for, you know, because of what reason? Colonialism, right? So, like, yeah, it's really just a system continuing to perpetuate colonialism on our people all the time.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, so, you know, we are make sure to keep up with what's going on with it. You know, see exactly what happens with him, because yeah, ain't nobody really talking about this one. It looks like, and I think I said a lot about them BLM types. You ain't saying nothing about this.
Nope.
Land back. So make sure that you are liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. All right. Make sure you are sharing this. Hashtag share it in the comments when you shared it. All right. Share it on Twitter. You know, Vanguard do good on Twitter. Share it on Twitter. And yeah, and then you can let us know when you tweet it. But also subscribe to our Black Hammer TV YouTube channel. All right. So you can get a notification when we do go live. All right. Land back. What's our next topic, G?
All is ready in Honduras for more than 5 million citizens eligible to vote to go to the polling stations this Sunday and elect the president of the republic and other officials. amid calls for peaceful and transparent elections. Hondurans hope that they will help to put an end to several months of political violence and confrontation between the parties participating. Citizens will also be able to elect mayors, deputy mayors, and municipal councilors in the 298 municipalities of the 18 departments of the Central American nation. Among the 13 candidates to succeed Juan Orlando Hernandez, the favorites are the ruling party's Nasri Asfura of the right-wing National Party and Xiomara Castro of the left-wing Libertad y Refundación y Libre Party. Political leaders, judicial and electoral authorities, as well as the resident commissioner of the United Nations in Tegucigalpa, have called for peace, calm, and civility. Honduras National Police began its deployment to guarantee all needed security measures for the elections development this Sunday, November 28th. National Police spokesman Edgardo Barahona explained how an extensive security plan organized with the National Electoral Council advances to guarantee the process to develop in peace and calm. According to Barahona, both the National Police and armed forces will guard the access to educational centers fitted as polling stations during the voting on November 28th. He also emphasized the plan meets biosecurity measures required by the country's health authorities.
On November 28th, we will also provide protection.
Let him back. Yeah, no, you could tell that he speaks Spanish first because he's like, this is my enunciating practice English. But I was like, yeah, you can just tell when you hear with your family and other people, it's like you hear it. Mm-hmm. Yes, so this election in Honduras is going on right now, right? Election in Honduras is going on, and what is happening is same that happens a lot in Pachamama and like Turtle Island, right? You have warring sides that don't necessarily represent the poor, working class, colonized people of that land, right? And so right now we have the current president, who's kind of like this like conservative type, in charge now, and then you have the other side, who she's from like the leftist socialist party of it, but she also happens to be the wife of a former president who was ousted in a coup that was condemned by the United Nations, condemned by the European Union, right? Approved by who, right? And sometimes you have to ask yourself, okay, if the European Union and the United Nations don't like a person that's being taken out, what was their interest in that person, right? And so right now the people are just wanting change. The people are just wanting something new. And so they had elections, but they also said that during the elections, like there's a bunch of computer outages, so that a bunch of people couldn't vote. It's just like that story of like constantly the people thinking that they're gonna finally be able to have dictatorship over something, in their life by like choosing this representative, but then they had no control over the process. They got no control over what's happening, So yes, lay back. What you think about the comment?
Yeah, I think like you laid it out pretty well, right? This is been a pattern in Pachamama, right? It started at least like Bolivia was iconic, right? The uprisings in Peru and like everything like that of people taking back that power, right? Like you said, Xiomara Castro. First of all, both teams announced victory.
Oh yeah.
Before like the final count was in. But like you said, yeah, she's pretty leftist or socialist or whatever. Her husband was cooed out by like business elites and things like that. I think this election is even more. It's gaining more traction because of who the current president is. Like this current president's brother has faced charges here in New York for drug trafficking and things like that. And this president has been accused by people in the snakes for like letting it happen, basically, from getting drugs from Honduras to here, and just like perpetuating this horizontal violence, right? And she's coming and like it's looking like she's giving people hope, because she's, at least from what I've seen, right, and it's so different reading about it from the outside, and we can only get our news sources, but she is the people's favorite, and I think that does count for something. And like her husband was ousted by a snakes-backed coup, With business elites. We've seen it all over Abya. Like it's not a new thing. So like that's why I say like it's a similar pattern to Bolivia, to Peru, and things like that. So I think it is wonderful, that the people are, and this has been one of the elections that see the most people voting, right? That's why they had to have all those security measures to keep people safe for voting, or to even like allow people to vote. But like you said, there were so many contradictions to get people to vote, because the ruling party, which is like the conservative side of like the National Party or whatever, is backing this one dude who is literally just a neo-colonial sovereign, right?
The most basic kind.
Literally, like just such a bland puppet, right? Where they could do whatever they want, and because what the neo-colonial system, the colony wants, is for just quiet. They want to run things under the radar again. It happened here. They choose someone that can be controlled. And Xiomara Castro has been proving that she can't. That she. Again, time will tell. Yes. If she is named the first female president. Then only her material actions will decide whether she's for the people or not.
Yes.
And that's what we have to look out for, because politicians talk game. Politicians talk game all the time. And I personally don't know enough of what she's done in Honduras to say whether she looks like a good person or not. I do know that the people like her, so that does count for something. But again, we won't really know what she's about until if she's in office, and then to see what she does to overturn the contradictions of previous presidents.
Yeah, exactly. And see if she puts the power in the hands of the people.
Exactly.
Instead of just the petty bourgeois people and all that. This is next door to your people, right?
Yeah.
Honduras is like,
yeah,
they're touching, right? Maybe.
No.
Okay. I don't got my geography down.
Costa Rica is right above Panama.
Okay.
So, and then Colombia's in South America. But no, my mom knows a lot of Hondureños.
Hondureños.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Like she knows a lot. And she's like friends with people from all of like Central America. So yeah, I'm interested to hear like what she has to say, and like what even like if her friends have talked about it, because like some of the, like I know that she has some friends that have family in Honduras también. So I have to talk to her about this, because I think today was the first time that I heard about it. But no, this is like, this is really just like colonization once again, just rebranded, right? Like it's not right, like it's literally just rebranded like colonization, because it's like this system continues, or like this government, the snakes, continues to just put whoever they want, right? Into offices, and it's like, okay, we're the snakes claim themselves to be like a democracy, but it doesn't make sense, because then they don't allow a democratic system to play out in other countries, or for people to actually have say in their countries. So critical for that. But my water alarm. But no, like they just it just continues to be it continues to play out over and over again. And like what the comment said, like I would like to see, like, find out more, either from like my mom's friends, or just like reading up more on the situation, especially like this possible new female president, to see, if she really is for the people. Because if she is, then all right, let's see. And I hope, if she is, that she does well, because that's all that we can
let's see her put the power into the people's hands, right? That's the true test. Like where does the power end up? And like the power ends up in the hands of the people, when they have control over the land of Honduras, over the resources of Honduras, right? Then that's gonna be the true test. And like we have to, and I think I read that I think like 20% of the money that comes into Honduras comes from Hondureños and the United Snakes sending money to like families and to like so like that's how like little control the people in Honduras had over the resources. They're just relying on people just to send them from somewhere else. But when this is a land that has plenty of resources, right, that creates plenty of products and crops and everything, so it's like, where is that going to? And so we'll see if these people they elect do it, but we know the true power is in the hands of the poor working class communist people. Yep. So if we don't see it there, then we ain't gonna see it at all. All right. Land back. I think we got one more topic before we wrap it up. It's we know what just happened.
For some Black Friday shoppers, the excitement to hunt for deals wasn't quite the thrill this year. Instead, sticker shock.
It's a lot different because all the prices are up.
Thanks to inflation, many shoppers found price tags were higher. And thanks to supply chain issues, the supply of what they wanted was lower.
A lot of stuff is out of stock online and in stores.
The average shopper expected to spend 9% more without the deep discounts of past years. Total online spending in the U.S. on Black Friday totaled $8.9 billion, slightly less than what consumers spent online last year. Experts say messaging about this year's supply disruptions impacted buying patterns.
Consumers are starting earlier, they're buying more earlier, and they're not waiting for discounts.
But even with a bigger strain on wallets, there's plenty of purchasing going on. It's predicted retail sales will grow between 8.5% and 10.5% this year. And MasterCard says their numbers indicate retail sales are up nearly 30% from 2020. Clothes, toys, and electronics among the items in highest demand.
Is closing out a year where consumers have been spending, where we know that consumers are in a fairly good place when it comes to their household balance sheets, when it comes to their income.
Retail experts also note the biggest online shopping day of the year still is yet to come. It's on Monday, Cyber Monday, when consumers are expected to spend between $10 and $11 billion.
Only consumers have a lot of spending power, and they are bringing all of that to the holiday season as they look to splurge on their family and friends.
And Katie joins us from Atlanta. Katie, how did in-store crowds yesterday compare to pre-pandemic levels?
Well, Jose, crowds were up 48% this year over last, but that's because last year a lot of shoppers stayed home due to pandemic fears and because retailers had reduced hours. But even though we're seeing the uptick this year, the numbers are still significantly smaller than they were in 2019 before the pandemic. Jose?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow.
Damn, land back. So I forget the one guy who said people are shopping earlier, they're not waiting for discounts because there are no discounts. Everything's more expensive. They literally just said that, right? They said like prices are up. There's people are spending 9% more than they did before. I'm like, what's the point of the whole day? Because they always place it as a day where everyone gets the cheap stuff. Everything's like super discounted sales, but everything costs more. So what's happening? And they keep trying to say like, yeah, like people are like spending in general more, like shopping more, but I don't know where everyone's getting this extra money that they're saying, because all I know is that everyone's quitting their jobs, everyone's losing their jobs, everyone is getting evicted, like all these things. Yeah, everyone's spending more in general, or shopping more in general, except online, which is weird because if there's a place where you think it would be more than in person, it'd be online. So how come that's less? So it's very fishy to me. I feel like they're trying to push like a narrative of the colony's still going, everything's still good, like Merry Christmas, but it's all still falling apart, and they can't pick and choose. Like, what is it that we're spending more, and we have more money to do it, or that everything costs more and we have less of it because of the supply chain? So I don't know. These stories don't add up. Black Friday ain't adding up this year. Our house balance sheets that lady talked about ain't adding up. None of it's adding up. All right. But props to the people going to Nordstrom and Louis Vuitton, getting them forced separations for Black Friday, because they understand that this mess is all some weird jumbo of lies and truths. I don't know what. What you thinking, man, about these Black Friday conundrum deals.
Yeah, that lady that said, oh yeah, people's house budgets are in order or whatever. I was like, who are you talking about there? Because I don't know anybody that is like doing well around this time of year, especially because just like 2 weeks ago we were having, even not just 2 weeks ago, gas prices are still up, y'all. Yeah, right now. So that means that, just like they said, like the supply chain, right? Like it costs a lot more to ship things. I saw recently that even the U.S. The snakes had like an oil reserve that they had to tap into so that the prices could like drop again. And they did that specifically probably for the holidays, for like the Black Friday, right? Because they really want people to still feel like the colony's not crumbling, right? And feel the happiness of the holidays or whatever. But I think there was a PE recently that we read that was like, oh no, it was our CIC that was like that quoted a thing from the Bible, and it was like, it's the people who have been struggling. I'm paraphrasing. Yeah. The people that have always been struggling that will continue to flourish because they know how to struggle, right? Like they won't struggle anywhere near as hard because the people at the top, right? They're gonna be like, oh my God, everything's on fire. They're gonna panic. The people, the petty boo, like, these colonizers, whatever, they're gonna be like, just in panic, right? And they don't know how to organize. They don't know how to struggle. Our people know what's up. And just like the earlier segment, we had, people doing the smash and grab. So, that's how they organize.
Yeah, people are making up for the losses.
Yes.
And I like what you said too about SOS California, and the California gas prices are up.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. $8 gas prices in some places, and I don't know how that helps you buy any toys or electronics that they said that everyone is buying. So I don't know what they're doing in California for Black Friday. What you think about that?
I'm still thinking about that $8.
Yes.
$10 used to be half my tank.
Oh my gosh.
Like in an SUV, is why.
Yeah.
$8 a gallon. That's crazy. That's insane. Ugh, I can't even comprehend. Anyway, it's not again. It's not surprising. Nothing that is happening is surprising. It's very status communism. You see it over and over again. It looks different because the colony looks slightly different, but it works the same. And again, back to my retail days. I did a lot of Black Friday seasons, right? And even before the pandemic, before all of this crazy stuff, like sales were down. People were not going out. Prices were up. The sales are less. That's been a running thing. It's just a little more dramatic this year, like the drop in things, or the drop in sales, the
rise in prices.
That one. My words. So what do you expect? Like I said, none of their math is mathing. And our people are gonna do what needs to be done to get ahead, to keep going. We see that over and over again, right? Like these house budgets. That's so funny. How many colonized single parents do we know that make it work?
Yeah,
you make it work.
They budget in the way they got to.
Where like our math, when our math doesn't math, it's because we technically should not have paid the rent. We technically should not have been able to buy food, but we make it work.
Yes,
we make it work, right? For them, it's our prices are, like Brent said, the people at the top are going to be struggling, but like our people, they know what's up. Like, blessed be the damned, right? I don't know the Bible in English, y'all. I don't know it in English. It's just, we'll see. It's when something crumbles, it's only bad if you're up high. And that's it. That's why we're for the poor working class people. Because when you're already here, you're stable, you're on the ground, you can only go up.
Yes.
You can only build up, and that's what we're doing, right? We're building with the houseless people, with the poor, working class, colonized people who are already at the bottom. We have nothing to lose when it crumbles. We have everything to gain.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing at Black Hammer, right? Is we're organizing to build as everything crumbles down, to take the fall and build for ourselves. So yeah, that's again, this is only bad for a very specific group of people that I don't care about.
Yes.
So yeah.
Exactly. Right. Like what is a $5 increase in like some Nintendo system compared to like you know, houseless people trying to figure out how they're gonna pay for a tent. You know, it's just like, again, especially in a time where everything is falling apart. Is that what we're thinking about? Is that no? The poor working class college people are not thinking about that. We're thinking about how do we, one, survive, and then how do we organize out of this mess, right? And that's what the poor working class college people in Black Hammer are doing, right? So how do we organize ourselves out of this mess of colonialism, this genocide of colonialism, so that we can build something better beyond this? So join us in doing that. BlackHammer.org/join. If you for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, I guess, go on the website and sign up for dues. You can do it's like $5 a month. All right, and that could be your Cyber Monday purchase, right? But if not, if you do want to get that material goody, you can go to shopblackhammer.org and get something like this land bag cat. All right, if you really do want that, you know, that material goody, at least help build your revolution through getting something, all right, and not just something for yourself. All right.
Yeah. Or if you know you got to shop for one of us hammers, you know, we got to shop for, you know, somebody in your house, your hammer house, or something like that. Go to blackhammer.org or the shop Black Hammer, and get something for somebody else. You know, you know, like I think what the company wants a.
The bucket hat.
Yeah, my hair don't fit. My hair does not fit under the bucket hat. Please.
I mean, it's a bucket. Buckets are big, right?
You would think so, huh?
Yeah, I'm not trying to call you big head. I got a big head too.
I call myself that. It's fine. My hair just be.
I remember I tried one on. It was tight on my head, so I can imagine.
Oh damn! Relax.
All right, y'all. But yeah, just again, remember to donate to the chapter if you want something for, again, Cyber Monday. You can also donate to us online on our Cash App and Venmo, Black Hammer Shy Cash App and Shy Hammers on Venmo, and help us prepare the people for winter. You know, we're gonna keep getting things that warm our people up, whether it's blankets or sleeping bags, hand warmers, boots. Yeah, we're seeing that need for boots. Yeah, big time. And so
and gloves.
Yes, and gloves. And so, so keep on making sure you share this live, share that Cash App, share that Venmo with people you know, and if you can't give, right, or if you can't pledge. But yeah, what are our announcements, G? Let's see what we got coming up. We have a Revolutionary Church online every Tuesday, all right? So go to our Facebook pages, Black Hammer org on Facebook, so that you can catch any lives. But you can see more of the Revolutionary Church on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BlackHammerTV. The Atlanta chapter doing their thing, speaking with the people, speaking with the houseless community in Atlanta, serving them and defending the people and getting and defending them with them, right? All coming together to defend each other against these pigs in Atlanta and against these sellouts who just be mad jealous, y'all, of the amazing work that we do. So yes, go ahead and support our Atlanta Hammers tomorrow. And then this Sunday, we have The Art of War is our next book for the Revolutionary Book Chat. It's our first episode of it. The introduction to chapter 4 is what we're reading. You'll be seeing some special hosts that might be in this very room right now.
I wonder who it is.
It's Sophie the cat. No.
Yes.
And so yes, make sure you tune in for Art of War. You can find the book at our library, blackhammer.org/library. All right. We'll see you there on Sunday on Facebook and YouTube. And then last but not least, make sure you are calling the Atlanta City Solicitor. These are the people who are responsible for the charges against our hammers who were arrested in Atlanta for feeding the homeless, clothing homeless, and reading the Bible with the homeless, and just serving people. And they have these bogus charges on them, and we need to get them dropped because we have people to serve and work to do. So yeah, call 404-658-6618 to demand those charges be dropped. You could do extension 5 to do that as well. And so call. Ain't too many times you can call, all right? But yes, land back, everybody. That's the Vanguard today. Make sure, again, you are sharing and donating to our chapter and getting others to do so as well, so we can continue to do this work. And Cheen got $10. Hey, land back, Cheen. We appreciate that. We appreciate that a lot. And we's gonna get Callie some resources too for all the amazing work that Callie's doing in Skid Row in LA. Because they're doing more than lots of people go to Skid Row, but what the Cali chapter is doing is going there to actually bring the people into organization and not just to serve them like every other person who goes to Skid Row does. All right. Salute to you, Cheen. Thank you. But otherwise, we gonna get back to it as well and get to serving our people. All right, and getting them resources. So we still did. I was cooking the spaghetti. So we
the fancy spaghetti and the fancy salad.
Yeah, I was cooking the big spaghetti. So we couldn't have our own sign up, but we gotta check that now. And if you don't got nothing else, all right. So yes, land back, y'all. Land back and check that melanin. Hey, land back.